God bless you all. And it is Friday, and the Lord is good, and his mercy endured forever. Oh, magnify the Lord with me. All two things together. Thank you for tuning in. This special line we do usually do is straight talk on Thursdays, but I've been so busy with our new projects and what God is doing in the church. And I'm excited to be on tonight, today. And I wanted to encourage some people. I don't want to. Sometimes it's a dichotomy. You almost have to sort of discourage to encourage. So I may discourage somebody, but not in a negative way, but just to give you some give you the real, and that's why it's called Straight Talk. And today is going to be a special message for pastors, preachers. I did it. I started work ministry from the ground up. Go to a city where no one knew me, started it, challenging city, built the church up, renovated the church, thousand dollars. Um, Moved out of my state where no one absolutely knew me, to a whole city called Charlotte, a challenging city. And I want to tell people how I did it because no one gave me tools to do much of anything. I just go by the leading of the Lord, and the foundation of principles on which my grandfather, the late Bishop Cunningham, taught me, and my pastors, Bishop Stenning Powell, and now those that some sharpen me. Let me say this. If you have any questions, please put them up there. But I'm getting ready to say some things that's probably going to insult you. Going to insult you, and you may not agree, or you may agree. But I'm telling you, if you are in ministry, tag anybody you know. Um, Tag anybody you know that may be in ministry. Tag somebody that you know that is in ministry. I got to tell you all this because many of you are delusional. I'm just going to be honest with you. You're delusional. And I don't want to hurt your feelings, but if you know, my background is in athletics and sports. And the one thing about sports and those in athletics, they just tell you the truth. They tell you you're fat, you're overweight. They tell you slow, you don't have the right jumper, you don't have the right vertical. You're just not good for the team. And so it's important that I tell you this because in the black church is a breeding ground for no one that lack achievement in life. Okay, let me say it like this: the black church is a breeding ground for those that lack achievement in their everyday life. The black church is one of the only organizations I know that you can absolutely be nobody in society. I mean, the black church is the only place I know that you don't have to be reverent or credulent or educated and instincts and just come to the church and you could be a top dog. All right. You don't have to be a CEO of a company. You don't have to be the vice president of the company. You just have to have a gift and a talent. And your gift will make room for you in the black church. That's the truth. But so often we have so many unqualified individuals preaching, pastoring, becoming bishops, becoming this, becoming that. And I'm going to lay it out to you. The Lord shared me this word, and I want to share it with you. So please, if you just do me a favor, tag 3 preachers you know, tag 3 pastors that you know. Maybe there's some other more experienced pastors who can get on here and shed some light. But I want to share. I'm going to say this first comment. This first comment is this: you can be too broke to start a church. You you can be too poor to start a church. I'm gonna say it one more time. You can be too broke to start a church. I'm waiting on the comments. Ain't nobody saying nothing. Share this. And no one never told us that. But if you look at the concepts and the steps of Jesus, and then you look at the concepts and steps of those and other, not just organizations and other cultures, you will see less struggle and less strain. You will see less struggle and less strain. So let me say this. You can be too broke to do ministry. And when you're broke, all right, and you're struggling to pay your light bill, your gas bill, don't go start a church. Don't go independent in ministry. Partner with somebody to secure you, to keep you honest, full of credulence, to keep you honest, to keep you aware, to keep you out of divorce court, to keep you uh, uh, honorable amongst the people. Let me just teach y'all this, because when you are broke, Black people rather give to the rich than the poor. Right now, if Oprah Winfrey wanted to raise $1 million, she can get a say, can I get somebody to donate me some money so I can raise this out, so I can raise this money for the homeless. Oprah can raise $1 million within 30 seconds. But for you, and because you're poor and because you're struggling, doesn't mean you're not saved. Doesn't mean you're not honorable. So let's just get that. Get your feeling. If you're in your feelings, this live is not for you. This live is not for you. This is for those that have been wanting answers and seeking the face of God. I'm telling you right now, God's wills for you was not to keep a church door open for the sake of ministry, and you can't even live, you can't even eat, you can't even pay your light bill, you can't take care of your wife, you can't take care of your children. For ministry's sake, just to be doing something because you can do it. That's the dangers about starting a church or doing ministry. We can just do it without any accountability. You can't open up a doctor's office. You can't open a chiropractor office. You can't open. You can't just say I'm an attorney without the credentials, without the education, without the certification. But this is the danger. When you say you're a pastor, a Black pastor or a Black preacher, you can just say I'm called and can't nobody do anything about it. And so this is the only free organization that you get a free pass. You can be able to go in and get a building. I'm a pastor, the Lord's calls me, and you're out there and you're struggling, you're broke, you can't pay your bills, you can't even take care of your wife. Your wife deserves to be taken care of. Your bills need to be paid without scheming, without scamming. And if you're too broke, you'll steal. That's why the Bible tells us, don't make me too broke so I won't steal. So let me get into my lesson so I can share with you. You don't have to agree with me, but I'm just telling you to try to, I'm saying this out of love so somebody can, so I can possibly save a marriage, or I can possibly, uh, um, I can possibly, uh, uh, I can possibly help you in your relationships, because we're doing ministry at the expense of our family and our children. That's why they grow up hating church, because um, our lives had to be sacrificed for the church. So let's look at this. Jesus spoke to the crucial principle in Luke 14, um, 14, 28, and 29, saying, for which you of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and count the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it. Whether he has sufficient to finish it. What are you saying? If you're not in a position to pay your church bills and your home church bills, don't go get a building. Don't go get a building. Don't go get don't start renting and getting musicians and all that kind of stuff for the, no. If you're going to start a ministry, first you need partnership, okay? You need to get with people that is able to help you carry this load and carry this burden. You don't go get a building, this should be a class. You don't go get a building and then open up, hand out flyers and pass it out on the radio. We open up our church, the grand launching. The launching is this. That's not the Jesus concept. You want your church to be Christ synergetic. So if you want your church to be Christ synergetic, you need to do what Jesus did. You need to choose your core. If you're a pastor or if you're a type of preacher, type this, come on. You need to choose your core. Hear me real good. Don't let the core come to you and prove themselves. No, you need to choose your core. That ain't Bible. The Bible says that Jesus saw Peter fishing. Okay? He saw Peter fishing and he chose him and said, come on, I make you fishermen of men. All right. So let's look at this. First, he chooses Peter. What was Peter? Peter was an entrepreneur. He was a businessman. Peter cussed. He wasn't speaking in tongues, but Jesus chooses him to be a disciple because Jesus, right? He needed someone to understand the business concept and be able to help him carry the load and understand everyday ministry. So he didn't choose a bum. He didn't choose a drunkard. I know we say it's honorable when people come to our church, but some people come to our church in the beginning and the infancy of our church, and we think it's church growth, but it's not church growth. It's dead weight because the church is a baby. The baby can't take care of itself. The pastor has the responsibility of taking care of it. And so you got 20 people that can't even pay their bills, plus you can't pay the church bills. Now the church is broke. So this is why Jesus alleviates this. And he says, Peter was a fisherman by trade, so I'm going to choose Peter. It is an epidemic in our communities that so many gifted and anointed pastors are great to preach. Some of them are, this what, and that's what I tell people all the time. They laugh at me. I said, the greatest basketball players are not in the NBA. The greatest basketball players are not in the NBA. How do you know? The average, when I was in the NBA Summer League, I was 300 pounds out of shape, destroying the power forwards, the centers. It's only about 33 great basketball players in the NBA. Everybody else is in the right position at the right time, great age, and made the team, and they fit in. Everybody that's pastoring or the people that you see pastoring are anointed and gifted, but they're out of sync with the seasons that they're in. And most of you right now that's watching me, you got one problem. It's not that you don't know how to exegete a text. It's not that you don't know how to preach. It's not that you're not itinerant, you're not good enough and great enough to be an itinerant preacher. It's not the fact that you're not anointed as just as anointed as the other persons. Do you know what you have? You're lacking? All of you, all of us. Let's put us in this. All of you are lacking finances. Finances is separating you between good and being great. So you average, you struggle every day. Your Sunday morning offering is $300, $500. Then you have to pay a musician. Then you have to pay somebody else. And you're broke. You cannot do it because you started off wrong. Stop starting your church with just you, your wife, and a few faithful people. No. You got to be strategic. Before you start your church, start planning 2 to 3 years ahead. And you have your small groups Bible study, and you build a core that understand what you're getting ready to get into. All right? It's just like if you're in the street, if you're getting ready to pull up on somebody when you're masked up, you got your AK. Which way you saying it? Because I talk to a lot of people. You got your AK, and you say, we about to do this. Just like if you're on a basketball team, you huddle up and you say, go team, and because you say, we about to do this. So look at Jesus. Jesus did not just say, come on, whoso will, let him come. No, Jesus chose Peter. He chose his cousins, all right? He chose his first cousins, James and John. These were also, the Zebedee brothers was his first cousin. These are the persons in which understand entrepreneurship, all right? Thomas' profession is not explicitly mentioned in the Bible account, so we don't know specifically what he did, but it's obviously Thomas was a man that was well-rounded and full of wisdom, and he questioned everything because he questioned Jesus, right? Judas was over the finances. So there had to be a reason that Jesus chooses him over the finances. Look around your staff. Just listen to me. Look, and y'all probably go, y'all need to share this. Please share this. If every pastor and preacher you know, tag their name, tag the pastors and preachers, because we're all going through the same thing. And it's lack of finances. It's not lack of preaching ability. It's not lack of prophesying. It's not the lack of and then people that look like they're doing big ministry, they're not doing big ministry. Some of them some people that preach is like elementary Sunday school. But because they have big budget, big screens, lights, camera, action, they have the people to run these specific departments to make them great. They're able to financially sustain their ministry, and they look like God is just favoring them. It's not really the favor of God as much as it is they just have the budget to do the things that they need to do. Okay? It's not really the favor of God, it's just they have the budget to do the things that they need to do. So everybody around you, you need to reevaluate yourself. If you're struggling, Pastor, your financial secretary can't be broke. Your trustees cannot be broke. Those in your inner circle cannot be broke. One of the things that I was blessed to have, I was blessed to have a core, and every time I would give $10,000 or $1,000, the people that around me gave $1,000. You can't build church giving $20 and $40. That's you can't do that. Not starting church. So this is why you have a 2 to 3 year plan, and you choose 10 to 12 people that you can say, this is our church, this is our vision. We have in small groups. We're doing this. Stop going to get a building, calling your bishop in to consecrate you. If your bishop really loved you, he would tell you, shut this down, reevaluate yourself so you can really cause yourself some growth. He would come and tell you that you got 3 people there and you have a building. You don't need a building with 3 people. You don't need a building with 5 people and you got a young wife and you got a young children. No, if you can't take care of your children, first of all, you need to really evaluate should you be pastoring or not. Because that is going to cause a financial strain, a burden on your family, your wife, and children that ought not be. It's not the devil. You stress for free. It's not the devil. You stress for free. So I'm going to give you these tools, and I hope it blesses you. Because some of you cannot do full-time ministry and have a full-time job. And people always say, if you're going to pass, you need to. If you need to pass, you need to do this and do that. No. It's hard to do a full-time job and full-time pastor, not full-time pastor. Okay, so let's overcome the financial challenges in pursuing ministry. Okay, because being financially challenging situations can make pursuing a pastor's career seem very daunting. We have to change our methods. Okay? It's important to remember that God can work through anyone, regardless of their financial situation. Don't mean you're not called. All right? But we need to reevaluate how we launch. These numbers going down, they should be going up. It was a message I was talking about Bishop Jakes or somebody, or talking about somebody with y'all to be on here, it'll be blooming. Y'all need to, these pastors, y'all need to get on. I'm trying to tell you right now. And that's why many of you are struggling. You're dressed up in Memphis and you're looking good on the convocation on these flyers, and you're absolutely broke. You barely can feed yourself every week. You barely can survive every week, and you're doing ministry. No, that's not the will of God for your life. And that's why you're here listening to me, because I want to teach you this, because it provides guidance and encouragement for people who feel that they're too poor or broke to pastor. It's not you. Don't feel bad about yourself. You just got to reevaluate your team and how you doing ministry. It was never your job for you to start a church and carry the church by yourself. God never told you to do that. So you out here struggling. I mean, man, I love you because I know you're struggling, and you're anointed, and you preach, and you teach, and the people come up here and can't even give $10. Can I help you? People try to say ministry is not about money, it's not about ministry, but you can't do it without money. All right. And the Bible said, if I sow into you spiritual things, how might I reap your kernel? So you got 20 members. 10 don't work. They're faithful, they're talented, they're gifted, but how in the world can you pay the bills if 10 don't work, 5 don't tithe, and only 3 give? Yes, we have to go back to spiritual. We have to trust in God's provision. We got to remind ourselves of God's faithfulness in providing his people through history. But why we always got to wait on God? That's going to mess y'all up. You always want to wait on God because you don't understand entrepreneurship and partnership. We have to wait on God. See, sometimes God is waiting on us to make the right move. Sometimes God is waiting on us to make the right move because we just want to go out there and just start a church. Because again, there's no accountability, there's no testing, there's no state certification, there's no federal certification. So anybody can just start a church and just say they're paying. Anybody can start a ministry on Facebook Live. The internet is so dangerous. It provides opportunity for the least called and the not called. It provides opportunities for those that just want to be some. If you just want to be some in life, just go to the church and say you call, and people are going to accept you. And if you're gifted in the singing or do whatever, people are going to accept you. But the truth of the matter is that most of us don't understand you can be broke a pastor. And in this day and age, you got to be up on point in your media. Your music got to be right. The choir got to be right. It doesn't have to be right, but I'm saying this. If you want people to pay any attention to you and give you their attention for 1 minute, your sound have to be right. You have to have a sound man. You have to have a music. You have to have this. You have to have that. Because we are in a technological society, and people will look at you and say, "Oh, that's trash." All right. So yes, trust in God's provision, but also trust in your own ability to find partners that believe in you. You don't need anybody in your inner circle that don't believe in you. I got a lot of people that get mad at the folks that travel with me from Michigan, but every one of them have sacrificed their life. They have sacrificed financially. They have sacrificed their time. They have sacrificed, some of them sacrificed their families, right? Why? To do ministry. You need people, and I don't care if people don't like them or not. You need people who God sends to your life to assign to you to be able to do things that other folks that your own family won't do. They've done stuff my own family don't do, and I got to tell my family, listen, I'm in this doing kingdom ministry. They're making sacrifices that you're not even making, and you're my blood relative. You need people who believe in you and who understand what it takes to do ministry. It's not just about money, money, money. But whatever you all do, it's going to take money to do it. And and everybody needs it. Everybody wants it, but we don't like to talk about it in church. How are you going to lead, all right, if you're a pastor and you need to do a campaign and you broke, you took an Uber to the church, people are not going to give to you. They're not going to believe in you. So get yourself right. It ain't about you wearing the Hermes belt, the Gucci belt, the Gucci socks, and all that. That's flash because poverty speaks loud, wealth moves in silence. You looking like a pastor and got all the techniques and got all that, and then you're broke. All right? So you got to develop skills and identify that can support your ministry financially. You got to be a creator. You got to be able to start saying, the Lord is calling me to pastor, so I need to start building me a rapport with people and build a rapport. I need to go to a doctor and say, listen, I'm starting my church in about 2 years. I want you to partner with me. I want you to be in my circle and start it. Don't just go get a building and start preaching and start church. You have to seek wisdom and knowledge. You have to develop practical skills. Consider seek part-time employment over freelance work in areas that align with your skills and interests. You have to cultivate a supporting community. You have to cultivate a supporting community. Every leader that I have, even right now, because I installed this, every core person I have, if we got to put a new roof on the church and it's $25,000, I said it costs to be close to me. It costs because it's going to take finances. And where we go, we got to get a new roof. So I need everybody to give $1,000. I know people don't believe this. I don't need a prayer meeting when I need finances. And that's what we do it as. That's what we've been trained to do. We just got to believe and trust God. The hot water heater going out, so we praying. Why are we praying about things we should be writing checks for? Well, I don't agree with Bishop May. It ain't about money. It ain't about this, about trusting and believing in God. No. Yes, you got to trust and believe God, but you got to have applicable resources and you got to be in a position to count up the cost, as I told you, as the Bible says in Luke 14, 28, 29. Preachers, we cannot start churches thinking people don't take care of us. Wrong. And I'm telling you all that's in ministry, I'm not going to fake you. I'm not going to lie to you. If you don't have a ministry, You should not be on Facebook and the internet raising offerings every day. People are talking about you. They're mocking you. If you don't have a ministry, if you don't have a church, you should not be. Why are you on Facebook every day prophesying, asking for offerings, asking for this, asking for that? No, 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 no. When you need to be, people are looking to sow into where they can see their money going into a work, and not just because you don't want to work, you want to get on you want to get on Facebook and raise offerings every day. No, the Bible says in Exodus 36, verse 3, the people gave offerings every day for the building of the temple. And they gave so much until they had to give it back. But now we're in a day and age, people just push live, go live, and they just go off and they start prophesying, asking for money. You're not counting up the costs. You're not counting up the cost. So you don't have it cultivate a supportive community. If you have an individual ministry, you're not pastoring, you need people in your inner circle where you teach on Zoom privately to be able to undergird your ministry and support your ministry and not be on Facebook every day asking people to give to you because Black people are not built like that. You got to understand the culture. Probably if you were European and the audience was European, they could handle it a little better. But Black people can't handle it like that. The only type of people you're going to, if you're asking for offerings every day, watch your crowd. Listen to me. You will never have millionaires on there. You won't have wealthy people on there. You will have desperate people on there. The easy time, if you got a prophetic gift, go on at night. 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, because people are stressed, they woke and they're desperate, they're looking for a word, and then they see you, and then people give. And so they give their last. And they give their last, and they will see no fruit behind their last because what they sowing into is really not fruitful. So you need to build upon the community. You need to teach the principles of sowing and reaping and giving. And that's what we're doing. And so people are very reluctant to sow now because everybody that you turn on is asking for an offering on their lives. Hello? So you need to cultivate a supportive community. You need to move different. You need people that understand your ministry. You need partnerships so you won't have to ask for offerings every day. You just say, listen, I'm praying for you. I'm prophesying over you. And so I need you to contribute to my ministry $50 a month. 75, become a partnership, $100 a month. So you don't kill your ministry in the eyes of people. Even though what you're doing is good. You're prophesying, you're laying, yes, what you're doing is good. But at the same time, you are the biggest hindrance to your own ministry. Because you have to reformulate and package things different. You need to cultivate a supportive community. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals who understand and who value you, who can offer support, encouragement, and accountability. Seek mentorship for experienced pastors or spiritual leaders who can guide you through challenges. All right? Utilize available resources. Research and apply for scholarships and grants and financial aid programs for theological education. Connect with churches and organizations that offer training programs. And that's so crazy of you. You're sitting there doing online ministry and you detach yourself from your home church. Or you come away from your covering. No, when you're doing online ministry, you stay in that local church. You speak to that pastor, say, Pastor, I'm going to be doing online ministry. My sister does it, but she's connected to the house. So she gets support. She has a support system. I tell the disciples, support that ministry. Pastor Cassandra Miles, when she does her individual prayer, I said, go and support that ministry. Help her undergird. They have created a community, whereas iron sharpen iron, and not that she'll just go. It would be different for a Shield Cassandra. They probably survive. They'd do good, but just to go out there and launch and say they just doing full time ministry, and they got all these calendar dates and on a flyer looking good. You have not created a community. When you're doing ministry, you don't have to separate yourself from your community. If you're called and if it's on time and if it's in the timing of God, in the season of God, you don't have to speak. You don't have to do nothing undergird. Your leader will know it's your time. But because we already doing stuff, we know we feel, all right, nobody can receive me, and I don't think it's my time. And I know some leaders do sit on your gift and they control and manipulate. In that case, you have to do what you have to do. But most of the time, when you're doing online ministry, you don't have to separate from your local pastor. You need to stay there. In fact, you need to be in church, right? You need to be in church at his Sunday service, and then you need to then um, um, go do your thing or pre-record your thing. What you separating yourself for? What you saying? No, don't separate yourself, and that's why you're struggling. You're just like, man, I just need some engagement. Let me just say something. Black people don't help black people, especially in church. We don't help each other. We don't collaborate together. All right? All right. So you got to develop fundraising supporting strategies, explore fundraising options, such as hosting events, creating partnerships with businesses, or establishing a support network of financial contribution. Clearly communicate your ministry vision needs to support and church members and friends. Okay? You got to network and collaborate. You got to network and collaborate. Attend conferences and seminars and workshops to connect you with pastors and ministries, all right, leaders that can help you. Stop bringing in pastors and evangelists who can preach and they leave with half an offering. That ain't helping you. I don't want nobody to come to Abundant Faith Ministry if they don't understand what season I'm in. We're in a good season. We have outgrown our place. The fire of God, the Shekinah glory is heavy in our church, right? So it's appealing. Everybody wants to preach. Everybody wants to come to prophesy. But I don't need preachers to come to my church so they can try to get them to get out of realm. Matter of fact, I need preachers that can come help me preach at my church and leave the offering or allow me to give you a designated honor realm. Chris Harris did it. Sold $5,000, then raised other money. Bishop Maynard did it. Bishop Patrick Wooden did it. Why? It's not because I asked them, but you got to get people around you that understand ministry. I never asked them for anything, but when they come and see the work of the Lord, it's a given. People sow and leave the offering there. Why? Because they understand ministry. You can't have broke preachers come to your church. Oh my God. Highly anointed broke preachers can offend and break up a relationship. I understand it. But because I'm a full-time preacher and evangelist, I understand it. But when you have a preacher that's living week to week and day to day, when they come to your church, oh my God, this is some good information. I should just get off. Maybe I should just tell the minister that church. But when they come to your church, they don't need to, they focus on how we do that. Do we raise anything? No. See, now you just offended the staff and the people because your objective is off. If you didn't trust me, you shouldn't even came to my church. But sometimes when you're a full-time ministry and you live in day to day, you want to know, and it's no harm. You want to know, you want to make sure they don't cheat you. They want to make, but see, that's why you got to be in the position that if they do cheat you, you say, you know what, you got me, but I just won't be back. But I'm not going to compromise my integrity, arguing with you over money and et cetera, et cetera. I just won't be back. But we're in a season right now, man. Yeah, we're not looking for nobody to come in to dock us to death and preach a little something. No, we're in a season where we're growing, and when you're growing, you need help and assistance to get to where you're getting to. All right. So let's look at the text. Let's look at Proverbs 30 and verse 9. Are y'all enjoying this? Share this and like, share the hearts and likes if y'all enjoying this. We on the Bishop and Mary May likes page and publish page. It says, lest I be full and deny thee and say, who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and still take the name of my God in vain. Take the name of my God in vain. So this verse is a prayer of Agur, son of Jekiah, and it serves as a plea of God's provision. Okay, it's a plea of God's provision and guidance in life. Let's break down the verse to understand. Lest I be full and deny thee and say, who is the Lord? Agur expresses that his concerns about becoming wealthy or prosperous. He recognized that sometimes when people have an abundance of material possessions, they may forget the Lord and become prideful, denying the importance of God in their lives. He wants to avoid such arrogance and instead maintain a humble and dependent relationship with God. Or he says, or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my God in vain. He acknowledged that the danger of extreme poverty as well. He understands that in times of extreme need, desperation might lead a person to resort to dishonesty or criminal behavior, such as stealing. He prays that he's not fallen into a state of poverty that would tempt him to compromise his integrity and to take God's name in vain. So overall, Proverbs 30 and 9 highlights the importance of finding balance and contentment in both prosperity and poverty. Okay? So that would tempt him to compromise his integrity. Do you know how many gifted, anointed pastors were living saved but got too broke and they began to steal or they did some criminal activity and end up ruining their ministry? All right? So we need to understand in this season, people that value you, all right? People, your money is going to answer a lot of things for you. And most of the people, that's most of the prayers of people right now. What is the most of the prayers of people? Financial problems. Financial problems. You got to understand, you have to count up the cost. You have to be able to bite the bullet yourself and say, listen, there are many times when I told my administrator, my CFO, Pastor Sandra, that she said, well, Bishop, we only have enough to pay the bills or pay the musicians. What you want to do? I said, pay the musicians and we'll take care of it. I have to pay the bills. The pastor has to be able to count up the costs. If you cannot count up the costs, even though you have a word from God, you should not be trying to pastor. I don't know why we think struggle makes us highly anointed. Some things we're going through, we shouldn't have to go through. Some things we go through is not the devil. Some things we go through is just not management. It's poor management. All right. It's poor management. It's not counting up the costs. And we're in positions that we want other people to do what we can't even do. You should never expect 100% out of people to give of their own. And Pastor, you cannot put out 100% because your rent is due. All right? You should not be in a ministry 0 to 6 months in a year and asking people to pay your rent. You're asking people that the church cannot take care of you the first 5 years of ministry. They can't take care of you. That's not even good business common sense. And if they could, you need to put the money back in the church for the first 5 years. You can't do that. We're blaming things that we're calling what we're calling warfare. It is not warfare, it's dumbfare. We are acting in ways that we should not be acting in. And we're doing things we should not be doing. And we have not cut up the cost. Okay? What we really should be doing, half of the people that's online that's teaching and preaching need to shut down what they're doing, reestablish themselves, get partners, all right? Okay? If you had 10 partners that believe in you to give you $100 a month, that's something that you can secure you, that you can get online, and then there's a difference between receiving an offering and begging for an offering. There's a difference. And then people will give into what they honor. But people will not honor you, not in our culture, in our society, and you're begging every day. People need to see where their money is going. Black people, you got to show them where their money is going. You got to show them what, and when they only give you one chance. They only give you one chance. My church right now, if I said I need $10,000, they're going to do it. They're going to do it Sunday night. They're going to say, the biggest givers are going to give it because they know their pastor, even though sometimes things happen. Again, with the CFO, she would say, well, Bishop, we raised this money, but this just happened. I said, we can't use that money for this. We just can't do it. Even though, we got to do it. We got the heater went out. Well, I know, but we raised this money for the carpet. We told the saints the carpet would be in there next Sunday. Guess what? The carpet was going to be in there next Sunday. Me and Lady May is going to have to cut up the cost and try to get the heater fixed. And then when we get that fixed, possibly the church can pay us back, or if not, we just have to throw in and take the loss. That's how you do it with integrity. But if you take what you have raised and for something else, and it never gets done, you're killing your ministry. If you take what you raise and your wife is coming all Gucci down to the socks, you're wasting ministry. In fact, when you are building your church, you really need to dress in modesty. You really need to be very modest in your apparel. You need to be, your wife need to be modest. Okay? The wife need to look like the people. The pastor need to look like the people. Right now, I drive a 300C. I could drive a Bentley. I could drive a Cadillac Escalade. I had a Cadillac Escalade that my son drove it up. My wife drives a nice little Mercedes truck, but I refuse to drive a Bentley to my church that's worth about $500,000 in the land. But the whole land is worth about 2.5 million. I would not pull a Bentley up on that property. I would not pull up on a $300,000 vehicle and it's more than the church. I refuse to. Why? I'm building gyms and schools. Well, Pastor, you got good credit. You should do it. It don't matter what the people say. Yes, it do. It matters what the people say if the people are supporting and they're giving their dime and giving their money. And I have spiritual daughters that's taking an Uber to the church, the transportation, and don't have. Yes, it does matter. The people, you all should be in common. So I drive a nice black 300C, and it's comfortable and it blends in with the people. And from that way, you can grow. Even though Pastor, professional ball player, my wife is nearly a PhD, been teaching 20 years, and my sons were good. They played ball. Now they got great jobs. Our family is blessed, right? But at the same time, we have to be careful how we flaunt our favor and we asking people to give. You can't do it. But I'm saying it's so hard because you don't have to be accountable in the black church. You don't. No. You don't have to be. You don't have to be certified. Steve Furtick started Elevation. Great, doing a great work. Okay. He started off with $500,000. Some of our ministries have not even seen 10% of that. Why? Most Caucasian leaders, evangelical leaders, before they start their church, they count up the costs. They get with organizations that can assist them. Uh-oh, I'm getting ready to mess up. Some of you are too broke to be a part of a denomination when you first start off. Hear me good, don't misconstrue my words. If you are a part of a denomination just starting off, hear me good. You need that leader, that bishop, and you and your congregation need to have a mutual understanding to say, I'm with you in covering, but I will not be financially responsible to keep up with all the obligations that is necessary for us to be a part of this national organization. Because right now we have no budget, we broke, and the bishops should not be coming in taking several thousands of dollars, and we don't even have a church building. Why would I go in as a leader and install a pastor? Congregation is packed, this crowd of family and friends is there, and I make him raise me an offering. Offering is $5,000. They don't even have a church home. They rent out somebody's church. And here I am as the bishop. I come in and take $4,000 of their offering, or even half, $2,500. How is that a blessing? Are we doing ministry just to be doing it? Are we connected to people just to be saying, that's my bishop, so we can be seen together on a flyer or for a photo op? How are you giving a leader thousands of dollars and you don't even have a building? Come on, y'all talk to me. Make this make sense. How are you giving your leader half of the money you raise in your installation service or what have you, and 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 he sees you, and you rent a hotel and you rent a facility. You at Third Baptist Church, and you rent it, and they take over half an offering. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's community partnership. This is community partnership. You should be established in your community before your installation service. You should be established in your community. This is free knowledge, and I know my staff gonna get me for telling y'all this stuff, but it's free. You should be established in your community. So the community that you launch in that church, if every business gave you $100 to help you start what you're trying to do and partner with you, and then you influence your congregation to go to their business and support their business and all this, you won't need you won't necessarily need the bishop to come in. You don't necessarily need the bishop if you have to honor him. You should honor your leader when I honor him. You should honor your leaders when they come. That's not what I'm saying. But when you first launching your first day, nobody has nothing to be. Nobody should be taken from you. Everybody should be given to you. But if you don't understand community partnership, you'll be giving out with everything you gave. I never started a church. Right now, our church, they said, Bishop, what we're going to build, we're going to move. I never started a ministry or a church. This is what my grandfather taught me, because people will leave you. People are going to leave you. If you're good, they're going to leave you. If you're bad, they're going to leave you. If you're slow, they're going to leave you. All right. If you're fast, they're going to leave you. The Lord is always going to tell them their season is up. That's just people. People not staying in churches for 50 and 40 years no more. So before you start that church and before you build that building, never build your building based upon your local numbers of your congregation. You build that building and you consider this. If everybody left today, could my wife and I afford this $3,000 mortgage? If everybody left today, because I'm telling you all, this goes so deep. Because when your money is connected to wicked people, and your money is connected to those that like you but don't like your vision, you're going to struggle. See, one thing I'm gifted about, I don't have millionaires at my church, but I have people who will give 1,000 sacrificially because they just like their leader. They see the sweat I do, and so they follow the lead. They don't never leave me out there by myself. They may not understand it sometimes, but they get. And they see what the bishop is a part of because I'm a free giver. But the truth of the matter is that we have to count up the costs. We were renting. Let me just be very transparent. I don't know if Cassandra's on here or Carmen. We was renting and it was about $4,000. Young church, Queen City Boulevard, about close to 4,000. That was close to what I said, no, this is too much money. And see, when I moved from Michigan to Charlotte, I didn't count up the costs about how ridiculous rent is. Rent was $4,000. Rent was $4,000 with a young congregation. And you know what? My wife can sing, my son can sing, so they enjoy music. So I had to get a musician. We're paying the musician at an early age of our ministry $15,000 a year, which is crazy. $15,000 a year. One organist. That's not the drum. It's not the bass player. This is in the infancy of our ministry. And then we said, Lord, we can't do this. My grandfather taught me better than this. We got to own. We got to do something. And so we moved to the location we're in now, and we spend about $4,000 a month there. I said, no, Lord, we need to be owners of this land. And the owner came to me and said, we're getting a divorce, and I need you to be able to buy this in the next 30 days. Wait a minute, we're in the middle of the pandemic. I mean, you all say, let me just tell you something. When you're financially independent and you're financially free, you can speak bold like I speak. You will never be able to speak bold when you're a puppet of somebody else. You want your financial independence. You want to be financially independent. You don't want to be controlled by the denomination, by the leaders, and by the congregation. Because if you're controlled by them, you can't preach free like Bishop. Why can Bishop May preach so freely? It's because I would hate to do it, but just in case you left, we can still pay the bills. So now I'm not compromised by finances. Try to much as possible put yourself in a position where you don't need people and you don't have to lie to people. Why do you think the big ministries are so comfortable in their teaching and preaching, and they can't preach against homosexuality, they can't preach against fornication, they can't preach against adultery? It's because it's a big business. And those people who are homosexuals, those people that have sins, those people that are caught up in sins, they are big tithers. Even though the pastor knows it's wrong, he's going to turn the other cheek. He's going to baptize lesbians' babies. He's going to baptize homosexual babies. He's going to baptize people out of the child has nothing to do with it. But yet at the same time, they can't be at the altar right there. But because for financial sakes, and we don't want to upset the system, the financial system, we have to compromise. When you are financial dependent, you don't have to compromise for anyone. This is why you all say Floyd Mayweather is so arrogant. It's not that he's arrogant. It's not that he moved differently. He's financially free to make his own decisions, his own gestures, and to act the way he want to act. But in church, we are controlled by the narrative. So I can preach freely against everybody. I can sit the deacon down that continue to the kids won't continue to live right and doing that kind of thing. So I can tell my preachers, if you don't take care of your wife, you can't preach here. Bishop, that's bold. You in 2024. No, I tell them no. If you don't take care of your wife and children, you can't preach at Abundant Faith. Ask them, they don't hear. How can be so demanding and strong? It's because we are in a place where we are not, it's challenging. It ain't like it ain't like it'll be a challenge, but we're in a position that we counted up the cost. But sometimes in ministry, you all get so deep into it, you can't get out of it. You want to be in a place where wherever you believe in, whatever doctrine you teach, you can teach it from 100% purity of heart. You're not teaching it because money is your influence. Keep the people happy, so shout them and dance them. So you got a packed church, but ain't nobody growing. You can't grow without correction and reproof and without rebuke, without the love and the rod. And so people just come to church, and then you have people that just come to church that don't give at all. They don't give a dime, but they get the haircut, the nails done, and all that. You don't waste. Let me just tell y'all this right now and give y'all some apostolic instruction. Don't waste time with those type of people. Those type of people are going to cause you to go nowhere fast. If people don't invest, they rather invest in their hair, their makeup, their clothes, and sit up in church like a big old log and won't give anything. You are wasting your time with them. No one has left my church that was primarily an asset for one or two people. Everybody else was a liability. You got to look at ministry as business and get out of ministry out of your emotions. Oh, that's all you see me as? No, that ain't all I see you as, but that's all you are. You either a liability or an asset. You're a liability or an asset. What are you bringing to the table at our church? What are you bringing to the table at our church? What are you offering our church? What are you offering our church? What are you blessing? What are you bringing to the church? See, listen, I'm not, y'all remember old basketball when we used to go to the park? We go to the park, we'll drive, sometimes we'll load up and drive 5 deep to other cities. I never took people and packed them in my car that could not play ball. I never brought anybody, lived in my car, and go to Ben Harbor. Two things you're going to have to do. You was going to have to be able to play or you're going to have to be able to fight. Because we're going to another city, and chances are we might get into a fight, right? So if you can't fight or you can't play ball, why are you even here, right? So there are a lot of people in the church that you are wasting your valuable time. You're wasting your valuable time with them. I know it seems harsh because your emotions are there. And this is the difference between emotional people and wealthy people. Wealthy people don't want to hear excuses. Wealthy people the people will come up with a sad story. People always sad stories don't pay bills. Good God Almighty. Sad stories don't pay bills. And then you gotta understand, everybody, y'all going to these church conferences and everything, you got to know what you're dealing with. You got to cultivate your own style of ministry. So when you come up there and everybody's shouting and dancing, that's why the financial secretaries have to pray more because they see who's lying on their tithes. They see who's lying on their offering. They see who's not giving and who is giving. All right. So when you have these people who come to your church, categorize them. Categorize the people that's in your life and in your church. I got to close. I got to get out of here because I feel I'm really helping about 15 for real. But categorize people. Put them in categories. Stop grouping everybody together. Well, they got cliques. Jesus did too. Peter, James, and John. Exactly. And people in black churches, let me answer Damon right now, because they always want, did Jesus feel like he was wasting the time? Money, hunger, fake power, righteous are you bring to the people. So they always talk about pastors and being broke and pastors all over there. Negro, please. Pastors need money just like CEOs need money. Pastors need money just like entrepreneurs need money. The same light bill that's due at your house is due at the church. The same gas bill is due at the house is due at the church. The same bill, the electric bill, the water bill that's due at the yes, stop wasting your time with people that want to go nowhere. The Bible says, since you ask, the poor have you amongst you always. Why? Because of their mentality. And so Negroes like you who want to think pastors and comparing to Jesus, Jesus had money. He was a carpenter. Jesus chose businessmen. Jesus never did choose one person that was poor. He said the poor will be amongst you always because of their mentality. I ain't never asked no Negro to give me nothing. I believe if I'm in my health and my strength, I'm gonna go get it. And just because I'm like that, I'm gonna ask the same people I'm raising up to be the same way. Oh, no. Hey, no, listen. And then this is what y'all don't understand. And see, let me tell you something. Having a soup kitchen trying to build your ministry, that ain't gonna build your ministry. I'm gonna tell you because listen, you're gonna continue. It's good gesture. I'm just being transparent and real. It's good gesture to give book bags. All right. It's good. It's Jesus talked more about money than he talks about. Jesus talked about money and love more than he talked about salvation. Go read the Bible. All right. Jesus talked about money. He talked about, and he tipped over tables because they were den of thieves, not because they was raising offering. Now go look at the live in the beginning, Brother Martin, and then you come talk to me later. But don't disturb my live right now because you're not eschatologically inclined. Because for you to understand, um, um, how do you think the church water bill gonna be paid? Could tell you ain't no pastor. And you Negroes are so engulfed with the crab mentality. All right. Um, you so engulfed with the crab mentality. You try to say all pastors. Y'all respect drug dealers more than y'all do pastors. Everybody can have money but pastors. But let me explain to you. When we bought our first church, I put the first $20,000 down. You misinformed them. Jesus didn't tip over the table because they collected money. No, I'm real. And I can show you how real we are. Come on to our church tomorrow, 10540 off the Davis Road. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you how real we are. All right, what we doing? We're meeting with 12 gangs tomorrow. The Bloods, Crips, the GDs, the Vice Lords will all be at our church. We're doing ministry tomorrow, and God is going to do some marvelous things. So if you can't afford to come, I could pay your way to come, and you'll see how real we really are. Tomorrow we're doing a summit. Brother Elliott is on here. The GDs will be there. The Vice Lords, gang leaders, and the streets will be at our church tomorrow. Because real recognize real. All right. God bless you, and may heaven shine upon you. So yeah. So remember this, people, that you are going to be faced with challenges with people who don't understand ministry. They think the church is supposed to be an entity that take care of them. I'm telling you, all of us hit hard times. All of us hit hard times where we always need somebody. All right. I'm telling you, um, you can be a motivational speaker. Come motivate. Listen, Damon. Let me get on Damon right quick. Can I pause? Damon, God bless your work. Pay the way. You're a motivational speaker and deep in what you speak. Great. Come to 10540 Alta Davis tomorrow, and we'll let you speak to the guys. The guys will be there. There'll be a big hunt of us. It'll be Bloods, Crips, DDs, Vice Lords, Four Corner Hustlers. We will all be at my church tomorrow, and I'm inviting you to come give your motivational speech. All right? God bless you. Now stop talking on my life. Now, see, if you understand this, that people, I know it's good gestures, hear me real good. But you have to realize that, and I want to be careful how I say this. This is my personal belief. What kind of church do you want? Tanya, we can't wait till you come. What kind of church do you want? We do things because we think it's a good gesture. And I told my church, and I was very clear with this, because if anybody know, if you really hungry, or you starving and you can't, and you see how Brother Damon, he got offended by what church people should and should not have. He's ignorant. That's ignorance. Everybody, God's people, should be rich and well off, and Damon, you're a keyboard warrior, but I told you to come tomorrow. And listen, you gotta stop that. Jesus said, above all things, I wish you should prosper. Now let me tell you something. And let me tell you my doctrine of abundant faith and where we do things. I don't believe it's the church's responsibility to take care of people. And that's the mentality that we have. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to me. I think it's the responsibility of the man of that home to take care of his own family. Now, when he is in need and he's doing what he's supposed to do, I think the church should be able to help them. I think when a woman is working and doing all she can, I think the church should be in a position to help them. But as far as just you all understand this. When you build your church, and I'm telling y'all what's real. When you build your church off of those good gestures, you're gonna find yourself in a position where you're not growing, but you're swelling. That's how you make, when you start off your church and you want to go feed the community and all that, that's fine. That's fine. But let me tell you something, and this gonna sound rude and cruel, but stop feeding people. Rather teach people how to feed themselves. I told my wife, we're not gonna keep handing out book bags and the books the kids are put in these bags they can't read. Let's teach the kids how to read, and after they take a course and come away, then we can give them some bags. Doing good gestures does not mean it's good ministry. And you cannot build no ministry effectively between Monday and Saturday just with poor people. Okay, what you all say? If you're an entrepreneur, you cannot do it. Instead of you giving out a book bag, thousands of book bags, make sure before you give those book bags, you have a day where you have a literacy program that you can teach the kids how to read the books that's in the bag. Instead of just feeding people, before you feed them, give them a class on how to fill out applications and on how to feed themselves. If not, they would never grow. I'm telling you, because you'll never go far building your ministry off soup kitchens. You're not. And watch this, and I know this because I mentor NBA players and all star. I got billionaires on my phones and all that. Some people are reluctant to give to small churches. Some people are reluctant to give to small churches. Some people are reluctant. They're reluctant to come to your restaurant, and your restaurant got the best food. So they go to another, but they go to a five-star restaurant, have less food, and you have to pay $900 for the meal because of the ambiance and because of the president, just because who's who and the status. Some people, your church don't have the status for people to give $1 million. They're scared to come. People with money is afraid to come to your church because they think you're going to want their money. So therefore, you got to. You rarely see millionaires come to a young church. You rarely see millionaires come to a young church. All right, because they're scared they're going to be a skeptical, and the first thing you're going to want is their money. No. So you got to build with honesty and integrity, and you have to build with where you are in a position to say, this is where we're going. Okay? Keep it before the millionaires. This is the vision we have. And they see the progress. And eventually you'll be surprised how many people that are wealthy want to ride your church. But wealthy people don't want to come to church where you begging for $3 after the sixth offering, and you're in a position where everybody around you is poor. Y'all might as well get this through your head, and I'm gonna tell you, Jesus on the mainland. Having money or not having money has nothing to do with you going to heaven. The poor and the rich are going to heaven. Okay, the poor and the rich is going to heaven. The size of your church has nothing to do with God saying, well done, if you being a pastor. But I do want to say this to you, because I'm not a prosperity preacher. I'm a realist. That you will never be able to do what you need to do without finances and without money. Did you hear what I said? You will never be able to be successful in life without finances. Your marriage, your how you gonna pay? I wonder how Damon Martin pays his college tuition for his children if he have any. Do he give the do he give the register office a motivational speech, or do he write a check? How do you pay your water bill at church, Brother Damon, when you go write a check for the water and the mortgage and the insurance and the commercial insurance and the matter of fact, we spend $600 a month in keeping the grass cut. How do you expect to? Do you give a motivational speech? Do you look at grass and say, "Grass, be thou cut now in the name of Jesus"? Do you have a prayer meeting because the insurance is due $3,000 a year? Do you have a prayer meeting over the mortgage that's due? Or do you have to be in the church? Do you have to? It sounds good. Oh, people, we need $1,000. Oh, Pastor, if I had it, I'd give it to you. Oh, Pastor, we had it, we would do right. That gets old. What? And then you find yourself doing it, and then you get discouraged. You allow people to trespass and lauder on the anointing that God has given you. You paid for it. You stayed up at night. You cried for it. You was broken for it. And then when God endowed you with it, you allow people to walk all over you. and not pour into you and what you're giving them to do. And I'm not just talking about church. I'm talking about in everyday life. Even friends you counsel at your job. Your friend, stop counseling for free and tell them, listen, I've really been working with you for the last month. You need to sow into my life or pay for my meal, my lunch today. No, no, no. For God so loved the world that he gave. Come on, talk to me. Come on, y'all ain't saying nothing. I want y'all to talk to me. I'm getting ready to get off because I know I didn't borrow y'all. For God so loved the world that he what? He gave his only begotten son. So I wanted to get on here and talk to Pastor straight talk. Um, and just let them know how to repackage themselves. You're too young to be trying to do ministry like you full time. And just for Brother David, thank him for his commentary, Brother Martin. But there are 2,300 verses across the Old and New Testament that cover wealth, poverty, generosity, stewardship, and financial transactions. 2,300. And every time we talk about finances in the black church, because Negroes have crab mentalities, black people are their worst enemy. They don't want preachers to teach you on financial freedom. But guess what? Right now, most of your warfare would stop if somebody just blessed you with $1 million. Come on, talk to me. How many right now? If I just want to see about a raising of the, or just comment and can say $1 million will change my life right now. If you could use $1 million, say just put 1 million. Just text it right there. Just put 1 million. Come on, text it right there. Just put 1 million. I could use 1 million. If $1 million, you talking about you going through right now. You talking about you've been fasting, you've been praying. If somebody wrote $1 million in your account within the next 24 hours for you or your church, how would it change your life? See, don't let these people tell you that it's okay. It's not okay to be broke. And we have to position ourselves so we can effectively do ministry. I don't care what y'all say. Uh, 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 so we can effectively do ministry. The only way we can effectively do ministry is we have financial budget. Dubai, in which I'm a bishop over, the whole city is made up on vision. We're in the middle of a desert in Dubai. We're in the middle of a desert in Dubai, and they got all this. But then people like Martin don't want people to be educated and talk about finances and how it can change our lives. It's time for us to pool our resources together. Now, what we should do, because I'm closing, pastors, some of us need to partner with another church, and one of us needs to be the pastor who teaches, one of us needs to be the pastor who preaches, and we need to come together and make the 100 200 and make the 200 300 and partner together. One of the worst things in the black church are the black pastors and their mentality. That's a listen, it's not the devil. Some of you need resources. You need to do things you've never done before and see how much effective ministry can be. But if you just want to be the head CEO and you don't want a team around you, you don't want to answer to nobody, keep doing what you're doing. You shouldn't be struggling like you're struggling in your 20th year. Find somebody you can come together with. You fought a good fight. It was good. But 30 members in the 20th year, it's time to reevaluate some things. I'm 50. I have a plan. By 60, I just want to be chilling. I'm trying to tell you. No, I don't want to. You mean to tell me I got to be 80 To get no 80. I want to be in Cyprus, Greece. I don't want to be chilling. I want to be relaxing. I want to be doing something that can be enjoyable. I don't want to be teaching and preaching, hacking and worrying about people every day when they come to church. No, 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 no. We gotta give some people some hard truth. Yes, we're gonna help you this time, but what are you doing to help yourself? Can the church? I need to borrow some money. My light bill is due. Do you have a job? No, we can't. No, go to no, no. This is our third time helping you. We can't help you no more. What's wrong with you? I know that's old. Y'all don't like that. Jesus would have never done that. Jesus would have done a whole lot of stuff. Jesus would have left his children like some of y'all leave your children. 73% of our if the father's not even at home. So don't tell me that. We've got to change the way we do ministry and start teaching our children financial literacy, life insurance. We need to. It's a shame that you live the world 80 years. We got to have no money. Who teaching you? It's a shame that every time we need something done in the church, we got to have a prayer meeting. Prayer is like a dopamine for some of you all. You just go to prayer for everything. Well, I'm believing God for this house. What? That sounds good, but why do we have to believe God for everything that we can write checks for? That don't make sense to me. I don't have the drug dealer don't have to believe in God. The pimp, the hustler don't have to believe. The Muslims in Dubai don't have to believe in God. But we got to believe. Black Christians got to believe God for everything. Oh, the Lord let me may drive that car with no oil in it for 90 days, and we think that's a testimony. That's foolery. I had bald tires for 6 months, but the Lord kept me. That's foolery. Why do we have to compromise who we are, our lives, just to have a fictitious testimony? I'm believing God for real testimony. But in order to go somewhere, if you can't go by yourself, you can't pull your load. Hear me, and I'm closing. If you can't go by yourself, you can't pull your load. Please, because I know I done offended a lot of people now, but I did it out of love. Please partner with somebody else. Please partner with somebody else. If you can't carry this thing by yourself, it does not matter if you have 500 members or 50 members. If you cannot effectively do ministry, please partner with somebody else. Hear me? Pastors, you give 1,000 sacrificially. You cannot have your leaders around you who are broke. You don't need leaders who are broke because they're steal. You don't need leaders that's broke because they'll never see vision like you see it. You got to have somebody, and broke is not this financial, how much money you have. Broke is a mentality. Because I know people that make $10,000 a week or more, but they're still broke in their mind. Their mentality is broke. And I'm not talking about. So if whatever business you're in, whatever you're the pastor or your entrepreneurship, your closest associates cannot be broke. If you have $200, they gotta have at least 100 themselves or 400. Do you hear what I'm saying? They got what are you bringing to the table? Yes, you can pray, you can sing, but you're broke. Can you? I'm gonna need a co-signer. I'm gonna need a co-signer when we do this because our church. So this will happen to us when your church outgrows your financial history or your credulence or your credit. You're going to need somebody to co-sign with you, Pastor, and it can't be the Holy Ghost. Tell Brother Martin that it can't be the Holy Ghost. When that's what happened, our church began to grow, so we needed to buy. How could you, Lord? Oh my God! You didn't grow our church in the pandemic when it shut down one Sunday, and we bought a property that's worth now, I believe, over $2.5 million. Right? We bought a property in the midst of the pandemic, and somebody had to sign for it. The bishop signed for it. Do you hear what I'm saying? So you need to go fire your whole deacon staff, because all them broke. They cannot help you to do real ministry. They can help carry the buckets and take out the garbage. That's good. We need that. But they can't help you if they have no credit. Why are they even counting your money with a 400 credit score? You should never want anybody in your financial office that's broke or have a 400 credit score that don't understand bills and process and paying bills. You don't want that. Oh, they show faithful. Faithful for what? Faithful to what? Nobody's handling this offering, sacred offering, because you with a 400 credit score. You better stop doing. Get your emotions out of ministry, and do the will of God for your life. Break it all the way down. Get hoop triggers. Get a track. You don't need no full band right now. Go give that people their church back with them 7 members you got, and have a Bible study in your house, and go to somebody's church on Sunday. You can still do your ministry. You can still do your ministry, but you need partnership. You tell your pastor, Pastor, I need some help. Can you send one of the elders to help me? That's why you shouldn't send up nobody that can't help you or that's not secure enough to help you. Here you is, you giving your tithe, your offering resources, and the church you come out of can't even help you. When you do it right, you won't have to be independent. There's no such thing as independent ministry. God has always wanted us to partner with somebody else. 2 is better than 1. I've been on here too long. But I have to tell you that. You're doing ministry all the wrong way. Stop choosing your friends, and your friends can't get the job done. You need somebody that's articulate. You need somebody that knows how to write grants. If you're going to do real ministry, forget what mental midgets like Brother Martin, who he is, coming on my live talking about preachers and pastors. No, those are mental midgets. If you want to do ministry, you're going to have finances. You're going to have, I don't care, you can have 1 hour, 100 hours of prayer. And it's a shame that we believe God for everything, which we should, but in actions, we should be positioning ourselves to trust God that it's going to go through. Stop believing in God for everything, and you count up the cost, and you put in the work. All right? You barely can eat and pastor. Shut it down. Get in somebody's church. You barely can pay your light bill and pastoring. God didn't tell you that. You miss God. No, I'm telling you. No. You miss God. Because when your wife needs money for groceries and you said you got to pay the church bills, you miss God. Your wife comes before the church. Your husband comes before the church. So if you can't pay your bills at home, you definitely shouldn't be opening up a church because you can't pay and you're responsible for God's people now. So now you're going to scatter God's people because you have no business pastoring. You can't pastor now because child support, you got arrears. You can't pastor right now. Your arrears payment is, you got too many kids. You need to be in somebody's church, helping that pastor teach and preach. I've been on here too long. I've been on here how long? An hour, 25 minutes. I got to get over here. But you can't do it. And that's why you're struggling. You ain't doing it right. I got it out the mud. I'm telling you, I don't want y'all to make the mistakes I made. I came to a city, didn't know nobody. And I ain't never advertised on the radio. And they ain't never advertised billboards. We can really advertise this year. Why you never advertise? Because I didn't want everybody to come to my church. People don't even know I'm a prophet. People don't even know some of the stuff that you and I never no. I didn't advertise on TV. That's don't do that. Don't do that. When you're starting off your church, no. Because you're gonna get a drag net and you're gonna get everybody else's mess. You don't want to start a church with everybody else's mess. I did it, and people come from other churches. get in your church and want to take over your church, bash the people that's being loyal, and those people never give. Those people never have intentions to stay, and they just come on assignment to discourage and divide. But rather, you build a core. Don't have a dragnet before you build a core. You need to build a core of 10 to 15 people. When you build a core to 10 to 15 people, now those can develop another core to 20 to 30 people. And you go on, so on, and so on. And now you have a strong core and you have a strong committed. So now when the congregation come in, they won't shift the culture of your church. But if you only got you and your wife and two more people, those people that come from different churches and different denominations and have different aspects, they need to uh, uh, they need to come uh, subject to their reality. Build a core team of 10 to 15 people. One thing, sometimes in my church is jam packed. Then sometimes it's half packed. Then sometimes people go on vacation because everybody in my church only have one member from Charlotte, most from New York, and from everywhere, right? And it's vacation, and we teach people to have vacations and go on vacation. One of my sons, they're going around a ski trip right now. Well, what are you saying? My finances never changed. I wish Pastor Cassandra was on here or Carmen. It was Cassandra day at work. I wish Cassandra was on here. She could tell you our finances never change versus if the church is packed versus if it's half full. Why? Because I put my resources, my time, and my energy into the core and the committed. The core and committed have me 100%. They got all of me. I don't spend time with everybody that's not committed to what I'm doing because then it becomes wasted time. I used to think I want to love everybody and bring everybody in, invite in my house, and do all this kind of stuff. No, Pastor, don't do that. Jesus didn't do it. Who did Jesus hang with? Limited people, Lazarus, Mary, Martha, Peter, James, John. What are 6 people? But daily multitudes followed him. This is so much. I gotta quit. I gotta quit. I gotta quit. I do. Because it's just coming and I'm just pouring in because no one ever did this for me. But don't give yourself to everybody. I'm not doing that. I'm not missing moments with Kenya and Amani and my family for the church. Do not give those people are not gonna change. They're gonna leave your church and they're gonna go to somebody else. Yes, you got picks. Yes. Jesus had picks. You got picks. Don't let people make you uncomfortable about your picks. Well, Bishop got picks. Yes, he do. And it comes with a price. Because if you're close to me, you're gonna be able to. I'm not sacrificing all out 1,000%, and you only giving one. And think we're gonna take it together. We ain't got nothing in common. I'm gonna treat you fair. You're gonna get the word with everybody, but you're not gonna get me. Freely give, freely receive. Yeah, I'm gonna give you the word as your pastor, but I ain't coming to your house. I ain't eating with you. I ain't coming. You ain't riding with me. We ain't talking like that. No, when you ain't gonna get me, you're gonna get the secretary and one of my associate pastors. I'm not giving no one all of me. You need to know boundaries in your life. Don't give all your family you. Oh, cuz we cousins. No, what do you do when you want me to come across the country for you, but you won't cross the street for me? No, I don't care if I don't care if you're a bishop, I care if you're a general board. You can't get. Most people can't get out of me with Bishop Maynard and Bishop Powell can get out of me because it's reciprocal. I can call on them too. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the Pope of bishops. I'm bound down giving up everything for me, and I can't depend on you. I'm not doing that. That's why I would do whatever I have to do for Bishop Maynard, Bishop Powell, Bishop Sears, because it's reciprocal. We're talking as men, not little boys. And I gotta tell you all this. You all are giving yourselves to people that don't value who you are. They come over your house and eat, but they complain about the food. I'll tell you what, just don't come to my house. Just don't come to my church. And we're good. You don't have to come. Because there's a long pile of people want to come. But I guarantee if you come and apply the principles of the word, you may be I guarantee it's gonna change your life. Everything you don't need to choose things based upon if you like it. You choose things that's good for your future. Choose people and things and entities that's good for your future and not for your flesh at this present time. All right? So God bless you. I hope I said if you want to sow into this, fine. You can. If you don't want to sow, fine. Right? That ain't the purpose of me getting on here. $ AM44. Put that on there. That if you want to. So that's up to you if you value. See, people sow into what they value. And if this information bless you, please tag your pastor too. Go to your pastor and say, well, Pastor, we've been struggling a bit. Let's partner with somebody. Let's go to this church and see how we can possibly, you could join Abundant Faith and be the pastors of the education and teach every Wednesday. Teach every Wednesday. Be over Christian education. Teach the people. We build a rapport. It's ways to do things. It's ways to do. And some of you just pastor because you like the high. You like the social high. You don't have you don't have it. You don't have. And I'm not trying to be braggadocious, but I'm just trying to tell you, like I would if you was an athlete. I told my son, he talking about Mom Bernice, right? And Karen is one of the baddest. I ain't gonna say girls. That's because that's my sister. Don't say girl. She's one of the baddest girls that I know. And it don't make you a failure. It doesn't make you a failure. It makes you live long. It makes you be able to breathe. Ministry to a healthy person can cause them to be sick. If you got health challenges and trying to pastor, you know good and well that ain't good. No, in fact, it makes you a bigger person because it's different in pastoring in these days. 20 years ago, pastoring was different. 10 years ago, pastoring was different. 8 years ago, pastoring was different. 5 years, pastoring was different. But now, you're dealing with a different animal. These people are, whoa. These people. So you got to build your own community. So now I have a group of committed core people that I can depend on at any given time. Now we're getting ready to do some things that I wouldn't dare try without them being the core or the committed. I would no, don't jump out with them because people say they got your back. Jump out there after they've been proven. You mean to tell me gang leaders, the street people got more wisdom than church folks? You will never be able to be in the gang or get close to its leaders unless you've been proven. When my son first graduated, he was an economist. He had all of the credentials and the education to lead a Fortune 500 company. You know what they told him? Get more experience under your belt. When you get the experience under your belt, we draw you in closer to us. In other words, you got to put some work in and drag that up. I know y'all take that scripture. Peter, he put his net out and got a net breaking miracle. That was after Jesus had trained them. You need some people around you that can help you. The Fortune 500 company said, listen, I don't care how educated you are. I rather take experience than education. Stop overlooking people who don't have the degrees and the money and the Mercedes, but they got the wisdom on how to survive. God bless you. May heaven shine upon you, is my prayer. At the Abundant Faith Worship Center. I hope Brother Martin, the keyboard warrior, he comes to church tomorrow so he can give us some good speech on his motivation speech. All right, because I'm gonna have about 100 gang members that need some motivation. Brother Martin, you are invited to our church tomorrow. At Saturday, we're having a gang summit, and we have several gangs that's coming in, bosses of the city, and we would love for you to give your motivational speech on how Jesus tipped over tables. All right, God bless you. May heaven shine. And Mom Bernice, love you as always. And check us out Sunday, 11:25 is Jersey Sunday. Wear your jersey for Super Bowl Sunday. God bless.